Have you got a story to share? The experiences that you went through those dark times need to be told, need to be heard. The teachings, the lessons. I know when I had a stroke scare that it changed my life. My name's Jay from Journey of a Whitefeather, and I run a show on Spotify and all good platforms called A Chat with Jay. I talk to normal everyday people who have had experiences that need to share their teachings with the world. I speak to celebrities who are there, who can give you advice how to become a better person. Bruce Buffer, the Kings of Disco, Blackie Lawless from Wasp. So many people, but I love talking to the normal everyday person that gets up every morning to be their best self. If you want to be a guest, whitewarriorhealth@gmail.com. Check out our socials, #JStephenson, #Journey of a Whitefeather. Take care and always be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. G'day guys, this is Jay here from Journey of a Whitefeather, A Chat with Jay, opinions and views, koalas, kangaroos, Steve Irwin impersonations, and this is the Robin Hood effect. We're talking to a very good friend of mine. We've met basically through the election, if you want to call it that. We are funny. She's a lovely lady, mate. We have some chats and she has a lot to say about a few topics, but this is the Chief Disruptor. I love it. Yeah, so I'm looking at superannuation, as a thing that I guess is an absolute necessity, but depending on the mindset, I think it's a big thing. I think we haven't got the mindset in the country at the moment because of the way the government is, way the cost of living, all that kind of garbage that's happening. And we all have our theories on it. I've got mine, but Michael Gibson, hello, hint, hint. Okay, put your thinking cap on. Where would you go from here then? Before we get into the other issue, I think all the issues come together in one spot, doesn't it?
I think we just need to know that some people are going to be at risk. So people with low incomes, people that will get divorced,
yep,
which we know 50% will.
Yep.
People in certain occupations, right? And all of us that have been casualised, right? The casualised workforce, freelancers, creatives, whatever, startups, self-employed, contractors, that's not continuous. So we know we're not going to have enough. Everything about superannuation and even the age pension presumes that you own your own home because it was done at a time when 60% of people owned their homes outright.
Yep.
Because you were earning 50K, but houses were 200K.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're earning 50K and houses are like $1 million. So things have changed so much that people now have to rethink where they live, how they want to live. And why I've picked 45 is because you've got 20 years till retirement for the age pension.
Yep.
So in 20 years, you can do things like what you're doing. You can set up an SMSF, you can invest in gold, you can invest in whatever you want to, right? But the goal is to try and make better than you would have in a super fund, right? Do better
100%.
so that you've got a better return. And, sometimes if you've got a good family relationships, maybe 2 or 3 people like cousins or aunties or parents or whatever can put their super together. Because one of the things I'm noticing is if you've all got 100K, isn't it better if you put that 100K together, right? And 4 people have got 400, then you've got 400K.
Can I cut in on that one? It
was
pretty much what happened when people were migrating back in the 30s and 40s. They used to live together and pull their money together, live together for a couple of years, and then suddenly within a couple, say 5 years, they could go bang and get their own home.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's I guess in a way, it's very, I guess it's very dicey in the way it's going at the moment. You and me are talking up about, and we need people to be aware. I think more people being aware is the most important thing, because a lot of people are closed off, whether it be mentally, spiritually, whatever it may be. They're so invested in this. They've been basically trapped in investing in, they have 3 or 4 kids. They've got this. I'll be honest with you. I still can't believe some people are how they do it. I go to an airport, right? And I go, mate, you got 4 kids, wife, husband. How the hell are you doing it?
Yeah.
Unless they got the credit card maxed out, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I don't know. Go back to your PhD about superannuation and those main points, divorce rates. We're looking at women coming out because it's a lower rate, and of course, looking at obviously the amount of population too. I think the population does play a big part, and I think.
Well, hang on a minute, right? Because you have to understand, in 2030, there will be more people aged over 65 than people under 18.
Yeah. But what I'm saying
That's why Australia's always had migrants, right? So our birth rates plummeted when the pill was introduced, right? And since then, that was, I think, 1959 or
59 or something. Yeah, I think
right.
It was 50,
that's when our birth rates went pear-shaped. Right. And so we started bringing in people because what you need for superannuation and the age pension is people paying taxes so that as people retire, the money is there. If there's no people working, if there's no one working.
Oh, no, I get it. I totally get what you're saying, but where's it going?
It's going to pay up. But in 2030, over 65s, there's going to be so many people retiring, more than ever before. Like, we've known this for decades, right? The aging of the population. And if we're not having enough kids, then those people have to retire at some point and draw down the age pension or draw down their super. So those super funds rely on being able to do that because other people are coming in paying the super. So the money that's invested over there doesn't have to be returned so that I can have my super. Whereas that's going to become a problem because there's not enough people paying superannuation for the super funds to have the money liquid there to pay out the number of people that are retiring. I did look this up. I can't remember exactly, but it'll be thousands of people a week retiring in Australia in 2030 and beyond, right? Because all the people all the exes are starting to turn 65. And the boomers who have kept working and are now in their 70s will retire in their 70s. So there's 2 generations that are moving into retirement and they're taking out their money.
The thing is also, as I mean, that's a fact of life. I mean, you can't dispute that. But then you have to go back and talk about the government's mismanagement of the country. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, everyone say superannuation is a poxy scheme. Yeah, maybe if you've got muddy fingers in it. It's a dodgy cake if you've got middle muddy fingers having a pick at it.
And the shift was that when superannuation was introduced, employers had to give you additional money. They didn't say, well, now your 40K a year includes super. They had to give you an extra 4K or whatever.
That's right. That's right.
But as time progressed, you now see job ads. It's a package. It's a package, right? So they are now, right? And now it's going up to 12.5%.
Yes.
Or something like that in July. So employers are going to be having to find that. Where are they going to find it? They're going to call your package now includes the 12.5% super. And that's why people are getting angry because they're saying it's my money. And you're saying that I can't use it for something that may reduce my risk of being homeless in the future or my risk of not having enough. Like how
Oh.
That's little fucker.
Don't stress. It's all good.
No, that's the cat.
Oh, the cat.
The cat just decided it wanted to be front and center.
Oh, right. Okay, we'll go back. I'll call you back in 3, 2, and 1. I'd like to take this time to shout out our supporters at Liberty Bullion, the best gold, silver, and platinum traders in Melbourne, even Australia. If you want to give them a call, their knowledge, their customer service is second to none. Back to the show.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other as I've been looking at it. Like we all need a home at retirement. But we're not all going to have the means to have that. And normally we would rely on the government to provide that housing, but we know we can't. So that's the other thing.
But where does it go? I mean, have a look what's happening around the world. I mean, all the taxes that's happening in the UK. I mean, my mate just in UK just said it's out of control over here. I mean, I said, look, don't worry, Australia's not this bad. And I mean, is Australia a country or a corporation? I don't know. You know, I mean, I mean, where does it stop? I mean,
it just does my head in that we are giving money to other countries.
Oh,
when our own people, like, I get it, right? Like, and I used to raise this when I was working for ministers, and they would say it's a different budget. It's a different budget. So that's how they operate, right? So it's a different budget because it comes out of the foreign affairs budget.
Yeah, where's the foreign affairs budget come out of?
It's the same thing. No. So
it's the same thing.
And they have obligations and blah, blah, blah. And it's about, being good and looking good or whatever.
Yeah, or paying on the table, whatever.
It doesn't work when your own people are living on the streets. In 28 million people, I mean, it's just an embarrassment.
Oh, it is. It's mismanaged. And everyone goes, oh, I love this party. I love this. I go, mate, seriously, how can you love the party? I mean, how can you love a party when you go and you've got so many people having 10 cities? I'll tell you the big thing too, it really gives me the shits. And as I play music, I'm in the Australian Pat Benatar show. And I look at, everyone goes, oh, entertainment. And you know what? I'm going to quote this guy, right? Tony Burke, mate. There you go. To Mr. Tony Burke. Now, I saw him in Tasmania and I said, oh, yeah, I play in this band, Oh, it's very important that you entertain Australia. You do a great service. Yeah, no worries, mate. I shook his hand. I go, no worries. No, I knew exactly what it was. I know exactly what these poor buggers at pubs and all that have to cop. They can't give guarantees to bands. Bands want more money, which is fine, but they can't guarantee nothing. They're charging through the roof for alcohol because they have to pay the government, the taxes, the CEO, the water, the air we breathe, plus the privilege of having a cup, whatever it may be. But we're doing that. How can you pay the bands? It is such a struggle. And these guys are sitting there, as you said. I mean, the higher echelon are just absolutely screwing us over with this. I'm just going to say it straight out. They are screwing us right over. That's why, with regards to superannuation being, I say it's a bloody shaft or it's a bloody con in a lot of ways. It's a con because people meddle with it.
It's just not fit for purpose anymore, right?
That's
it was meant to take the pressure off the age pension, and it was meant to help us in retirement. Now, I went to New Zealand like 20 years ago or whatever, and they have a universal pension, right? But it's better. I'm pretty sure it's better than ours, right? But it's not means tested. And I said to them, that's insane. How can it not be means tested? And they said, no, government wants to do it because people are entitled, right? And again, it's like, where are the balls? Where are the balls of politicians to say, right now we can't afford it. We can't afford that anymore.
You can't afford it because they're taking all the taxes and sending it overseas and not getting any. Okay, if I ran a business and I go, I'm going to give my stuff away for nothing, right? Robin Hood, mate. Here we go. Let's go. Whatever his name was, whatever the king's name was. Here's Robin Hood going after it, right? You know why Robin Hood went after it? Because he knew they were taking the taxes and taking it off the people that work so hard. That's what happened. And then what do they do with it? They sit there like, what's his name? Scrooge McDuck and do duck dives into it. You know what I mean? It's ludicrous. It really is. And the concept of superannuation is a great concept. It teaches saving. It teaches people to say, we will save for the future. I quite agree with you, but we're living in the dark times. We're walking through the forest of fear here.
Yeah. No, exactly. And I think in a great country like Australia that's so resource rich, and we're not taxing the corporates enough, we're not taxing the multinationals enough, we're selling all of our assets for nothing, money for jam.
What do we do, though?
The politicians don't care. Because
what do we do? What do you think? Well, I think we're doing is basically, is it going to be like, as I said, is it like Robin Hood? Is it us being in Sherwood Forest? I mean, I'm being silly here, but I'm deadly serious. We're putting out the information like you and me chatting, where we became friends because of a common goal.
Look, Shallow Charles says, no one's coming to save us. Right. And that at the end of the day is the biggest message I can give. That's the solution, is understanding no one's going to come to save you. If you want to have be secure in your retirement, you look into your super, you get active about knowing whether you're getting a good return. Think of options. Think about whether you should put that money into home ownership or not. But do something. Take responsibility, because no one's coming to save us. Right. Like if you've got good friends and whatever, like I'm single, I've been single forever. So I've got good friends. I know I'll be able to live with other people, as I get older. But I also have 2 kids. Whereas what I'm seeing, there's a lot more people now aging that don't have any children, right? So who's going to look after them? So those people need to be thinking, I'm going to have to pay for care, right? Which is like already $80 an hour, right? Or $70 an hour. How are you going to afford that if you've got no one to shower you, no one to care for you? So my PhD is about going, well, if we know that all these people are going to be at risk, then we can mitigate those risks by building enough housing, by looking at new ways of creating wealth for people with low super balances, right? Like I want to work with one of the super funds and say, well, like who's got the lowest income threshold in all of the supers?
Your own super fund.
Right? Is it hospitality? Is it, health or whatever?
Yep.
But like, let's have a look at that. Like we know that these things are going to happen. The other thing that happens, right, which I didn't mention, is redundancy.
Okay.
Right. And that happens in your mid 40s to mid 50s. And once you get made redundant, you're unlikely to ever achieve that level of income again. And then you're either unemployed or underemployed. So that's becoming another thing that I'm looking at, because when I was young, I've always been like contract freelancing. And I remember someone saying, oh, you should have income protection insurance. And I looked into it and it's so expensive. Whereas now, in retrospect, I look back and I know people that have had it and have accessed it and it's been amazing.
Yeah.
I would highly, strongly recommend that if you're in your mid 40s, that you just take it out, man. If you feel that there's going to be, and you don't know when you're going to be made redundant, like just stuff happens and that happens, but that intersect with divorce, redundancy, all these things, and then losing your home, because when you get divorced, you have to split the assets and you've got half an asset and, probably even less because you probably haven't paid it all off, that you then have to try and get something and pull yourself together. So poor people that have lived their whole life in social housing and have been on benefits, like we know, and we should be able to predict for them what housing's needed and all of that. The people that are doing everyone's heads in are the middle class people that end up homeless. And that I am seeing so much more. People that have owned homes, people that have been property investors, people that have had families, people that have had 100K more in income. They are financially literate and financially capable, yet that intersect of divorce, redundancy, that just completely annihilates people. And then if you throw in chronic illness, you're gone.
Well, you've got that, and then you've got, well, let's throw in the court system too. If we can go about how we could go skill with about the court system as well. So I mean, it's the whole system
picture, but that's why, like, I've got a business called Prime Life Partners, and that's where we're trying to look at these issues as well.
What was the business called again? Sorry.
Oh, Prime Life Partners. And my co-founder, Dr. Abby Bloom, says it's going to be BYO and DIY or DIY. Everything's going to be BYO and DIY. Housing, health, care, financial security. It's really squarely on us. So I'm not a financial advisor, but I wish financial advisors could do more. And I wish people would access that assistance earlier so that they can plan ahead if they can afford it. I could never afford it. I've only just started doing that very recently, and I'm 59. So, like, you have to go, well, it took me ages. But, it took me ages.
I'd like to take this time to shout out our supporters at Liberty Bullion, the best gold, silver and platinum traders in Melbourne, even Australia. If you want to give them a call, their knowledge, their customer service is second to none. Back to the show. Can I cut you off there? Have you are you with your super? What's your plan? As I've said, I'm doing self-managed, and I've done my research. Give my big shout out to Red's Opinion. Peace out, mate. Did my research. I thought this is where it's at.
Yeah.
Spoke to a lot of people. Tim from Beat the Reset, Bishop from Stormrake, Sam from Liberty Bullion, and it made sense to me.
Yeah.
It made sense. What about yourself?
Look, I am probably extremely fortunate because when I was 21, I worked for a federal minister, and then I kept going in and out, but I ended up working for a lot of federal government departments and federal ministers. And I have a defined benefit.
Okay.
So, that's kind of been good and bad because I haven't been there consistently for 30 years, but the small amount that I have there has actually grown. And I owned a house with my brother, and when I sold that, I put 100K in my super because I knew I was going to be in trouble because I'm on my own, right? Like I knew I had to look after my retirement.
Well, you did that, so we're both doing what we're both. You and me have gone.
I did that.
Yeah, you and me have gone like that.
I've got a small amount in Aware Super because when you leave the Commonwealth, you can't put money in the Commonwealth unless you go back. So when I left and I got other jobs, I had to create another super fund. And I chose Aware Super because at that time they were investing in affordable housing for frontline workers. And I thought, I want to be with a super fund that's investing in Australians.
Right,
and that was my choice, right? So,
no, look, it's credit to all of us who try to do the best we can with raising money for charity, as I do when I play Batman and Robin. I mean, what you do, you go, I'm going to invest. I'm going to look at someone. Go, you are doing something for society. You are actually, I mean, credit to both of us for doing what we're doing. But
you got to do what feels right and what you feel comfortable with. If I had only a private super, I probably would look into a self-managed super fund. But because I don't, mine's in Commonwealth government and it's a defined benefit.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
It's probably in the most secure place at the moment.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Right. But again, it got me thinking, like, I'm okay. But if I didn't have that defined benefit, I wouldn't be okay. Right. The other reason why I'm okay is my parents passed away and I was able to virtually pay off my house. Like I still have a mortgage, but it's nowhere near as massive as it was. Right. And that released the chokehold on me because I would have had to have sold my home. There's no way, because when I bought the house, I was earning a lot and then I wasn't earning, anywhere near as much. And so I'm on my own. So it's up to me. If I can't afford to pay the mortgage, then I got to let go of the house. So it just so happened that, again, I was really, really fortunate. So I will have a home. But even with the small mortgage I have sort of thought, well, shit, do I move to the country? Right. And then be able to put more money to live, aside. But this house has gone up so much. Right. I'm in a suburb that's near Newtown, like Marrickville it's called, but
I know Marrickville.
I'm off Enmore Road. I'm just opposite Enmore Park.
Oh, okay, near the Enmore Theatre. I watched Village People there
I'm not far from there. So you know what I mean? Like I kind of am in two minds about it because at the end of the day, I have 2 extra rooms, which means I can have housemates if I'm not able to afford things on my own. And I probably will always live with people because I'm sociable in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those sorts of things just really got me thinking about my future and then other people's future. And then when I started looking at the data and going, well, how are most Australians going to retire? Right? Like, we see 80-year-olds working.
This is ridiculous. See, this is ridiculous. And then they go, you got politicians who go, oh, I should do something for the country. Well, hello. Why aren't you looking after people in their golden years? We're going to have a lot of questions come at us.
I'm sure, and I hope so. Like, I want to understand in terms of my PhD, like, what are people most concerned about? Like, what are they worried about? Do they care about housing? Are they thinking about retirement? Maybe they're not. Like, I don't know. I got obsessed with it because I've worked in aging so long. Yeah. And, I just got quite into it. And then, Abby and I started this business because we thought, holy shit, people are living 30 years longer So how, if they didn't even have enough super to live till 70, how are they going to live till 80 or 90 with the low super? So, you know, we thought, oh, we've got to educate employers, right? We've got to tell employers, don't expect everyone to retire at 65 or 67, because some of your employees may need to keep working. So start thinking about flexible work for mature age people. And seriously, I mean, I feel terrible saying 65, 67 is mature age. I'm 60 next year, right? So it's not mature aged. But you know what I mean? Like, we have to change that perception that everyone's in a nursing home after 65. Never has been. Less than 10%.
It's never been like that. It's a lot different. Look, we're going to get a lot of questions. So we'll do a little promo here that I think we should go on to. We will have lives. I'm sure we're going to have questions. So the Chief Disruptor and the Robin Hood effect will probably get onto TikTok and have maybe some lives. Would you be into that?
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, 100%.
I think we should do that every so often. Maybe when this comes out, we can both put out the videos. And look, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got any questions about anything that we've talked about tonight, I mean, we've rambled about a lot of stuff. Look, and we're both passionate about, you can see the passion. This is what I'm really excited about meeting so many lovely people that I consider friends, because we're on the same energetical level, whether I'm talking spirituality or talking about what's happening in the physical world, or this lovely lady's talking about her concern about people in the future. I mean, we're all got that love for what humanity is all about. And, you know, we could all, as I call it, all be under the Hall of Justice in the Super Friends. So there you go. We could all be Batman, Robin, Wonder Woman. We could all be like that. It all comes back to superheroes with me. But where can they find you? Do I call you? I'll keep calling you Chief Disruptor.
You can call me Chief.
Where do they find the Chief Disruptor?
They can find me on Twitter as Chief Disruptor. They can find me on Instagram as Chief Disruptor, and on LinkedIn as Chief Disruptor as well. My name is Annie Marie Elias, and you can find me there, or you can Google me. I'm very Googleable, actually.
Very Googleable.
There is another Annie Marie Elias who is a psychologist in Queensland. That's not me.
Oh, right.
I'm in New South Wales.
Look, it's been a wonderful chat. And as I said to you, it's a pleasure to be in the company of people that really care about the future and really care. And, you know, we've had a few chats before this, and just the passion we both have for what the knowledge we have, the knowledge we've got. And it's great. And we will do some live chats on TikTok. We will go live on TikTok. And if anyone does have any questions for either of us, please, I mean, we're just doing what we need to do to get ourselves to a comfortable, happy, healthy life. That might sound very cliche, but you can see the passion that comes out of both of us. And Miss Chief Disruptor, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on. And yeah, your knowledge is second to none. It's really, and just as I said, the passion you've got for what you do is, it's a pleasure to know you and call you a friend.
Oh, thank you so much. And likewise, Jay, I love the spiritual side of what you do as well, and the fact that you're talking to people around the world and you're giving, you know, a platform for people that have, like, as you said at the beginning of the program, have something to say that should be heard. And I'm just grateful that you think that I have something valuable to say.
Absolutely. Mate, your knowledge is second to none. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a chat with Jay, the Robin Hood effect. Those 5 things: awareness, freedom, accountability, voice, and choice. Those are the 5 things that I go and you can really put it in perspective when you do it with regards to your future. Thank you so much for the Chief Disruptor. Again, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and obviously TikTok. We will be on lives very soon. We will make sure we have people come on, and we will do the advertising where we need to do it, so we can go from there. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you. This has been the Robin Hood Effect, a chat with Jay. Thank you so much. And I always finish off with my hero. I don't know if you do watch professional wrestling.
No.
No, don't worry. So you wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about. But I met my hero, Bret the Hitman Hart. He's a former WWF champion and wrestler, Hall of Fame wrestler. And he always says, be the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you soon. See you live on Twitter very, very soon. Oh, Twitter, and obviously, or X, that's the one we call it. And obviously TikTok. Take care. Take care of yourself. Make good choices. That's a quote from Tim Manga from Beat the Reset. And I hope you have a great day and be your best self. Take care.
Thank you.
See you later. So everyone knows I love YMCA, the Village People. I got the honour of interviewing 4 members of the current Kings of Disco. My name's Jay, and I have a chat show on Spotify and YouTube called A Chat with Jay. And today, the biggest interview of my life, former members of Village People, the Kings of Disco. Bill Whitefield, the construction worker. Eric Elizondo, the Leatherman. Alex Briley, G.I. Joe Army Man. And Ray Simpson, one of the best frontmen I've seen. He's the copper. We reminisced about the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but we know they're called the Kings of Disco. But what happened? Let's see when we talk to them on our show. But also, we're going to find out how to get them down here, because when they were here in 2017, they rocked the house, and they can do it again. Spread this video around. Looking forward to releasing it. And thank you so much, the Kings of Disco. We want you down under again, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much, and always do the YMCA.